Hey Floozies, it's Jen. Just a really quick note to say I apologize for calling Peter Lawford Peter Lawson through much of this recording. That's all. My bad. There was a lot of information. Enjoy the show.
A listener warning. Please be advised that this episode contains content that may be disturbing to some listeners, including descriptions of violence. Listener discretion is advised.
Life upon the wicked stage ain't ever what a girl supposes.
I'm Jen.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Olivia.
And we are, in fact, three different people.
This podcast focuses on true crime under the spotlight of arts and entertainment. So grab your beverage of choice and settle in.
Places, ladies.
Here's our episode. We're on. Hey, Floozies.
Hey, Floozies.
So I renewed my Pilates subscription on Monday, and then on Tuesday I threw my back out, and my disc is inflamed. So
Everything's great on Olivia's end.
It's going well.
It's going really well. This is what happens when we don't record for a couple weeks.
That's
We all fall
right.
apart.
that's
fine.
what it is.
Everyone has been very busy and important. Olivia
know.
has been traveling the countryside like
Yeah.
a girl boss.
Right?
Jen
Yeah.
has been filming a movie. Like there's so many things on the calendars.
Yeah.
And in my travels, just because our show is based in the theatre world, I have to put up here who I met in my travels.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
One and only.
Yeah, there she is.
Kristen.
Kristen Chenoweth.
Let's tag her in this episode and just
Done.
see
what
if she
happens.
happens to. Kristen, hey girl.
Hey, girl.
It's a note to Kristen. Hey Kristen.
Hey, Kristen.
Kristen.
I met you outside the Delta terminal at the LaGuardia Airport about 2 weeks ago. If I had not gotten to my cab 15 minutes late, and if he had not inexplicably dropped me off at the Sky Priority curb check, I would not have met you, Kristen. So I feel like the stars aligned and I met you. And Kristen, girl, I hope you had a safe trip wherever you were going.
Yeah.
And you're ever in O-Town, you let a girl know. And
Yeah.
We
Meet for a
couldn't
little
be
bevy bev.
happier.
Meet for a bevy.
Simply couldn't be happier. Yeah.
Well done.
That's it.
I love this interaction for you, Olivia. This
Yeah.
Jen, how is the movie coming along? I keep like refreshing my email, being like, "Is it my
It's
day
not
to
your
show
turn
up?"
yet, but it's going to be soon.
I have a cameo, listeners. I have
Yes.
I don't know if it's really a cameo.
You have a whole character.
I'll be like a drive-by, just like there I am. It's like
A
wait
drive-by
minute, is that-
crucifixion brought to you by Ashley Wilsey.
Exactly. We're scheduled to shoot again on June 9th at Maxine's on Shine. We're very excited to do that, to do our restaurant scene. And then I will have one more day of shooting, and that is the day that you will be there. I just
The
have
day
to
of the
find
show.
the day of the show, y'all. I'm working with Smokin' Donuts, hopefully, to get that interior for a scene I have with Will and Derek at the bar. And then because it's got kind of a cute little street that goes over to Seven Bites, that's where we'll do our stuff.
I love
Is
it.
the plan.
Listeners, I've seen on this production schedule, which is the most organized thing I've seen in a minute.
Jesus.
But on this production schedule, it says like something like street scene, and I was like, I know I'm not like a street walker, but like the way it's like listed,
The way
on
it
there,
says it,
it's like
that's
it's like
so true.
we'll be shooting Ashley in the street, and I was like, not.
Cue the red light for the street scene. Bring in the hooker.
You can be the red light if you want.
I also thought this was very fun. Obviously, I have a very small role in this endeavor, but Jen also sent over like a mood board of like, this is like your character's vibe, and not all of the references, but a large preponderance of them were all of like Reese Witherspoon characters.
They were, right?
Which I was like, I love this, but also like, so against type for me, I'm like, I think this is more about the outfit than the Reese Witherspoon of it all, but it did strike me as very funny.
Yeah, because she's,
I didn't
I'm not
really
sure what some
recognize.
of them are, but yeah, very kind of like jeans and a And a cute sweater and
running around like in a little fit, like doing errands like a lady of a certain age. I was like,
that's it. That's what's happening. That's the vibe.
I was like, oh, I know who this woman is.
Ashley Wilsey Spoon is
Ashley Wilsey Spoon.
I love it.
Incredible.
Oh my goodness.
Well, let me tell you guys also out there, the text messages that have gone back and forth between us to figure out what day we're recording, whose turn it is, and should Olivia do one more has been insane.
Oh my God.
And I just made the decision for her, so it's fine.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And the answer is no. Olivia's not doing another one. And I don't know. I don't know how we all end up to make it here, honestly, sometimes.
But we
it's
do.
Like some weeks, but we're here.
We're here.
This is why we front load episodes and we record things in advance. Some other podcasts are in there every week, and for many of them that is also their capital J job, but they're in there on the regular, and it's like super fresh, like they record on a Wednesday and release on a Friday, and that is delightful, but we're not there.
We're not there. I mean, if this was my capital J job, we could be, because I've gotten pretty good at the editing thing, but
could you imagine, like, listen, Obsessed Network, if you're listening,
Patrick and Jillian,
if you guys want to pick us up, pay us a lot of money.
Here.
We do this full time.
We can be part of your
very willing women who will do that for you.
Yeah,
we would love. I will say the our friends at the Fish and Brits podcast, they are approaching their 50th episode mark.
Wow!
But they have also had some scheduling busyness, and they do record every week. But depending on like what they're doing is both like full-time performers.
Yeah.
They have a segment for those who've listened called 11s, in which there is like a food and drink portion. Usually the drink tends to be, let's say, an adult beverage. So it's real fun when they have to record at like 9 in the morning. And it's
my God.
Here's some scotch.
That's funny.
So they're like, this is...
And shout out...
That's what we
Shout out to Wayne, one of the Fish and Brits, who just won Best Supporting Actor at the Orlando International Film Festival at OIF.
Congrats, Wayne.
Oh my gosh.
Just yesterday.
Yeah.
It's
really awesome.
He was in a short.
We did a 48-hour film festival for Fort Pierce. I did with Derek and Matt Einhart and Melissa at the house. There was no air conditioning that day. It was really hot, but we won Best Film, which means we're going to Curacao.
Wow.
I love this. This is Jen's traveling the world with these film festivals.
I'm traveling the world with my movies. Yeah, I'm going. I've already decided. I'm going to save up. I'm going to go.
When will you be at Cannes?
We're waiting on that one.
We'll be taking our floozy trip to Cannes. All right.
Well, look, it's going to happen. Love in the spotlight, baby. It's coming.
It's happening.
You know?
I just found one still from it, and it's...
Oh, no.
That
I haven't.
Still in itself is going to disturb me for
Stop
the rest
looking.
of the episode. Okay, let me close this.
It's on the calendar for next weekend. I'll be
okay.
There. I'll report.
I want to go see
back.
it.
I'll be watching it like this, like through my fingers, just like that.
Hands on the face. Yeah.
Well, speaking of terrifying things,
great,
that are real.
Speaking of things that could really happen. Who and what are we unpacking today? What are we doing, Jen?
Today we are going to talk about the death of Marilyn Monroe.
So sad.
It's so sad.
And when we
Spoiler alert.
Horror, it could really happen. This isn't one of those weird Black Dahlia ones where it's like, ooh.
No.
It's just sad. And
it's just sad.
The industry just chews people up and spits
them right out. Yeah. And there is some mystery, still surrounding it. We think it's she'd be 100 years old this year. So
she was still with us.
It's a good time.
100th
It's a good time to do it. Yep.
I think too, Jen, this is certainly without trampling on anything you're about to say, but like less mysterious in the fact that it wasn't like, a crazed killer or anything like that.
Right.
But also when you have, I think, an untimely death of someone who is, a public figure in this way, but also the circumstances have lent themselves, I think, to a lot of conspiracies.
Yes.
And I would say not that it's not considered like a capital C crime, but it is also more or less like unsolved, maybe?
Yeah,
question
it
mark?
is. I think so. I think that is very, very apropos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, someone was asking me just today, because I was mentioning we were doing this, and they're like, how did she die again? And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
for sure.
allegedly an overdose,
sure.
but
Right.
who
Right.
knows?
But I was like, well, this, but also, like, do we know that, or is there more? Like, I don't know. So I was like, Jen is gonna tell us, and I
unpack
will
it.
report back, or you can listen to this episode. I'll send you a link when it's.
They said yes, exactly. Send them the link.
I'll send
them
you
the
a
link.
link, and we'll circle back. We'll circle
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
All right. Well, I have my 3 beverages. I'm ready to go. I have a little spritz because I'm gonna need it.
And this is a two-parter. So
This
we're
is
gonna-
a two-parter.
This is
Yeah.
2 pots.
So-
So we're gonna talk kind of facts and her life in the first one, and then the second will, much like the Black Dahlia, kind of get into theories and things like that. Well, shall we, floozies?
Let's continue.
We shall.
Okay.
Can I, Jen? I know this is your
Yeah.
episode,
Yeah.
but I think I sent this on the group text, and I just have to say on the record, Arthur Miller, what the fuck? Like-
What the fuck? Right? Yeah.
Arthur Miller.
Say it on the record. Yeah.
I know we're gonna get into it,
We
but
will
can I
get
just
into
say?
it.
Can I just say at the outset, very disappointed. Very disappointed.
I hope you're hearing this from your grave, sir. We're all very disappointed in you. We like your play, but we're still disappointed in you.
So
How
introspective
dare
about
you.
the human condition and the crucible,
Right.
and yet in your marriage to Marilyn Monroe, botched it. Totally botched
Completely
it.
botched it. Completely did. And yeah, we'll definitely get into it. All right, here we go. On the evening of August 4th, 1962, one of the most famous women in the world sat inside her home in Brentwood, Los Angeles. By the early hours of the next morning, she would be dead. Her name was Marilyn Monroe. She was 36 years old. The official cause of death was acute barbiturate poisoning. The official ruling, probable suicide. Simple, clean, case closed. Except the deeper that you go into the story of Marilyn Monroe, the less simple anything becomes. The timeline shifts, witnesses contradict one another, theories multiply, and over 60 years later, people are still asking the very same question: what really happened to Marilyn Monroe? But before we try to understand how she died, we have to understand who she was.
How she lived. Oh, I
How
thought
she
you said
lived.
I was waiting
Yes.
for the, how she lived. Sorry.
It's okay. Because somewhere beneath the headlines, the photographs, the myths, the theories was a person. And that person's name was Norma Jean.
Goodbye, Norma Jean.
Norma Jean. Exactly. Thank you, Elton. Act 1. Before there was Marilyn. Before she was Marilyn Monroe, she was Norma Jean Mortensen. She was born in Los Angeles on June 1st, 1926. Her childhood was unstable, to say the least.
That is generous, Jen.
So very generous.
The little I know, and I'm sure you're about to make
Yes.
me scream and melt into my chair with
Yeah.
whatever you're about to share, but
It's going to be a lot of throwing. Yeah. And
don't have the
from the
Triscuit.
very, very beginning, right? So her mother, Gladys Baker, so Norma Jean Baker you'll also hear as
Sure.
well, struggled with severe mental illness and was repeatedly institutionalized. Norma Jean spent much of her early life moving between foster homes and the Los Angeles Orphans Home.
That's
When
really
you read
sad.
about her, it's very sad. When you read about her childhood, one thing becomes very clear. Marilyn did not grow up with consistency
No.
at all. She grew up learning how quickly safety could disappear. That instability really shaped her very deeply. And I think, when we get into those people like Arthur Miller, we'll understand it a little bit
Right.
more because we know about her childhood.
Well, they
But-
say
And
too,
Joe
like,
DiMaggio, right?
Yes, him too.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
was-
and that
Yeah.
guy. They
He wasn't
say
very
though,
nice to her
Jen,
either.
and I'm not a parent,
No.
but we know I love to study behavioral psychology and things
Yes.
along those lines. And they say
It's
for
her hobby.
Yeah, it is.
She's a clinical psychiatrist in her moonlighting hours.
Well, I do have a degree, but
Yeah. You know,
I really do.
she knows.
Do you have a degree in psychology?
Yeah, that's my other bachelor's.
Yeah.
I did not know
This gal. She's got it all. She's got it all, everybody.
I'm not just like an armchair like person.
She's not an
completely.
armchair
It's like,
psychiatrist. She has a degree.
one of the most important things in raising children, as far as like raising a happy, healthy, functioning child, they say safety is the most important thing for a child to grow up and to become a functional person, is the child feeling that they are safe. And for the record, we don't know who her father was, correct?
There is, right, because her mother was a single mother. She was married to someone for a while, but that was not Marilyn's father.
I didn't know that, we didn't, and so I'm assuming she didn't know who her father was, or it just the public doesn't know.
There was a picture, apparently. So one book that I read was Last Days of Marilyn Monroe by David H. Wolfe, and that he's the same guy that wrote the Black Dahlia book that I read. Very, very, very thorough. And it said that there was a picture on the wall of a very handsome man with a thin mustache, like Clark Gable. And she said, like in her journals, that she would ask her mother who that was, and her mother would kind of that would trigger her mom.
Like obfuscate. It's like,
so that might have been her father, is what she
yes,
thought.
she believes it was. Yeah.
I don't have pictures of men I don't know displayed in my house.
Correct.
You know what? Actually,
That's
you should
true.
try it. It's actually quite invigorating.
Imagine Rich coming home and there's just like some
Who the hell is this guy?
Just like on my desk, like pride of place. He's like, "What is this?
Who is this?"
It's like, never mind. It's not important.
Never mind. It's nothing for you to be concerned about, sir. Mind your own business, husband.
Husband.
Fine.
Just because we're married, I can still have my own life,
Yeah.
You don't need to know everything about me.
Leave some mystery, for God's sake.
Oh my God.
I want to.
That's great.
Now.
That's great.
Really.
I kind of want you to, and just like video it, like just so
How
we
long
get to
it
see
takes him to notice.
But you know what? It would be fun. Do like a little one, like a little,
small, just a
3
small,
inch
Yeah.
by 1 inch, and in a little tiny frame, and just put it somewhere inconspicuous. And
Yeah, and just see.
wait when he notices.
It's funny.
that?
I like it. Who's this guy? Oh my God. Oh, it's brilliant. So yes, so she didn't really know who her father was. There was an inkling. Her mother, so her grandmother was also not mentally stable. And when her mother was pregnant and single, her grandmother was like, well, you can't take care of this baby by yourself. So they kind of gave Norma Jean to the neighbors.
The neighbors. I thought you were going to say like the grandmother took
as
her
a
on.
foster, because the grandmother took care of her for a little while, but the grandmother her mental health was diminishing. And Marilyn said that she remembered waking up with a pillow over her face once with her grandmother. So, yes. So
my God.
the neighbors kind of took her in. And
How old was she when the neighbors took her in?
I think it was like 3. Like she was
like little.
like little. And
functioning psyche in the family.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And the grandmother would come to visit. And that's when it happened. So it wasn't when she was living with the grandmother. The grandmother would come to visit, and she would kind of keep Marilyn there longer and longer and longer. And eventually the neighbors, who were they also fostered children. So it was like illegal, like she was being fostered by these people.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
Well,
what they were doing a little
They
bit.
knew what
wasn't
they were
like,
doing.
hey.
Yes,
Fran
they
and
knew what they
Jim,
were
would
doing.
you
They
mind
wanted
if-
to help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they said, you can't come and see your granddaughter anymore because
I mean, I think
Because
that's
you're being
maybe
crazy.
for the best, and you might
Yeah.
have tried to smother her.
Yes. And she was her grandmother was institutionalized. And then her mother kind of came back into a picture. She had red hair because Norma Jean had red hair also.
like
it was
reddish,
like
yeah.
strawberry blonde. And she would come and visit like once a week. And then eventually she made enough money that she could get a small house for her and Norma Jean. And they stayed together. However, they had to have some tenants as well upstairs. And this is where something pretty sad happens, we think, in Marilyn's words. There is a man by the name of Mr. Kimball, let me make sure. Kimmel, not Jimmy.
No relation.
No relation to Jimmy Kimmel. We
Also,
love him.
Kimball makes me think of he was the one-armed man.
Yes,
Makes me think
no.
of The Fugitive. So
No.
Dr. Richard Kimball.
Kimball, no.
Dr.
So-
Richard Kimball.
Kimmel, but not related to Jimmy because we love
Got
him.
it. And not Kimball as in framed for murdering. his
Correct.
wife. Got it.
Right.
Got it.
Right. Reportedly, from Marilyn's testimony, this man sexually assaulted her. And it's kind of a veiled name. Like, we don't really know who Mr. Kimmel was, but it's believed that it was one of the tenants that lived upstairs when she was living with her mother in this house.
Okay.
It's the awooga noise.
Oh my God, I don't have it.
Yeah.
What am I doing? Who even am I?
Yeah,
Jesus.
We don't even know you anymore, Jen.
Oh,
I know.
You put on a
even am I?
red lip
Thank
and you
you.
forget everything.
I forget everything. Wait. There
we
it
go.
is. Okay, I'm back.
You know,
Everybody,
the
her
I'm
good
back.
news
childhood's kind of
is-
oh,
Oh, no, I was just saying, the good news is now he's dead.
Very, very dead. Yes.
this is true.
He's
Very
Dusty
true.
Bones.
Very dead.
That's
Dusty
true.
Bones.
He's dead.
What I was gonna say is that
Yeah.
her childhood is reminding me oddly of Eileen Wuornos, who is
Yeah, a little
the
bit.
serial killer that.
Oh, yeah.
only like
One
of
of the
only
few, yeah.
female,
Female serial
serial
killers.
killers. Who was here in
Florida.
Orlando, by the way. And,
Great movie named Monster. A lot of local actors are in it.
Yep.
You know who is? I'm sorry, I have to digress because we brought it up. I'm so sorry, Jen. I'm going to derail
okay.
this for 2 seconds. Olivia, do you know who was in Monster?
No, I was just gonna ask you. Actually, on 3 we have to say it. Ready? One,
One,
two, three.
Brian
Brian
Diaz.
Diaz. I was just gonna ask if you knew.
Wow.
Shout out to Brian Diaz, who definitely does not listen to this podcast, but I think
Not
his
at
wife
all.
Lindsay might.
Lindsay may listen.
Lindsay, I think, might be a listener of this podcast. Brian
he
Diaz
was
is
a
in,
company
like,
manager at Orlando
At
Repertory
Rep,
Theater for
right?
100
Yeah.
Forever.
years. Finally broke free, but yeah, Brian Diaz was in Monster.
He's in like,
Wow.
and I was like, he's in like 3 scenes. One of which I'm like, he's in
Yeah.
the opening scene where
Yeah.
she's like a teenager in the woods and it's like flashing a group of like 4 boys. He's one of them.
All
And it's
right.
like, it is his face, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh
you're not
my
like
God.
a random person in the background. You're like,
It's Brian-
in
he's
this. I was
right
like, Is
there.
that
Yep.
Brian Diaz? Yeah,
I love it.
I think I
He
did
was an
not
actor
know-
for a little while. When he was young, he was kind of a child actor, and then was
Yeah,
like,
for
you know what?
2
No.
seconds, yeah. I think
doing
I
this.
did not know he was in this movie. This is how I found out Olivia. I
Mm-hmm.
was just like watching it because like I'd never seen it before, and I was like, Charlie's there, and like
Yeah.
Monster, I should actually watch this. I think it'd like come to streaming.
brilliant.
And I watched it, and I was like, is that Brian Diaz?
You
And then
recognized him?
Oh yeah, and because I was working there, and I like went into
Oh.
work, and I was like, "Excuse me, what do you mean you're the Academy Award-winning movie Monster?" And I had to find out about this on my own. Sorry.
Wow.
He told me because I
great.
saw Monster when it first came out. And that also shows the age gap between me and Brian Diaz, by the way. He's a
Brian
boy
Diaz and
in
I
that
are-
movie.
I think we're the same
and
age.
I was in my 20s. So
Okay.
anyway, but I saw the movie, and before I ever knew who Brian Diaz was, he wasn't even a twinkle in my eye. And then at some point when I was working at the Rep, when people thought that I was Ashley, I don't
One at a time.
remember why it came up. I don't know if maybe I had asked him if he'd ever been an actor. I don't remember why it came up, but it came up, and he was like, I was in the movie Monster, and I was like, shut
Excuse me?
up! What do you mean? And he showed me the scene, and I was like, shh,
Shut
bitch.
up.
Son
That's
of a
great.
bitch. Yeah.
Many,
That's great.
many Orlando legends
Yeah.
in Monster.
That's right.
It's like
Yeah, Russ Blackwell's in
Russ
it.
Blackwell's in it.
And
He is
the-
the cop.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Big role.
And the,
Yeah.
the famed OBT. There's a lot of
OBT.
OBT.
A lot of OBT.
Orange Blossom Trail, to those of
Yep.
you that don't live here. Orange Blossom Trail, I've always thought that street sounds like such a nice street.
So nice.
Blossom Trail. A trail through orange blossoms. Nay,
absolutely not.
Nay, nay.
It is where all the hookers hang out. And it's still pretty rough. It's where the Parliament House, RIP Parliament House, was.
Yeah.
Best, biggest gay club in Orlando.
Best one.
/ gay hotel.
Yeah. A resort, if you will.
It was. It
resort,
was
if you
On the
will.
lake, if you
On
will.
the lake.
And I grew up on the other side of the lake.
You
behind
sure
the Parliament
did.
House.
Well,
Anyway.
Speaking of precarious women, take us back. Take us back, Jen.
Eileen Warner sent us on a very bizarre
It's all right.
rabbit hole, but yeah.
Okay.
Thankfully, Marilyn took a different road than Eileen Warner.
She
Serial
did.
killer.
Thank
Okay.
God. Yeah, we're not talking about Marilyn, the serial killer.
Yeah.
But yes, so there was this Mr. Kimmel that she spoke about. She tried to talk to her mother, and nothing really happened because, believe women, damn it. But
Believe children. Because
believe children.
She's still a child at this point, yes?
Yes,
Like,
she's still a
I'm gonna
child.
say,
I think
believe
she was like,
children, except watch the documentary called What Happened Upstairs, The Nightmare Upstairs, What Happened to Bryn and Ty. Sometimes perhaps the children are not completely totally.
no, it's true. But in this case,
New
But you also-
documentary, by the way. You guys should watch it.
Yes. In general, I think broadly, no bad has ever come from scratching the surface. If your otherwise normal child tells you something extremely distressing,
Yes.
maybe look into that.
Absolutely.
look into it.
Look into it. Yeah. yeah.
Maybe know how to question them in a way to not solicit like a false response, obviously
Right.
from like an interrogation
That's the-
standpoint.
yeah,
But
yeah.
the believe your child if they
But
come
believe,
home
yeah.
and say like this person like touched me and I feel upset about it.
Yeah.
Maybe
I would
Maybe
say
believe
believe
them.
your child. Yes.
at
believe
least
your
look
child.
into it. Jesus
And
Christ.
Yes.
at
Yes.
least
Yeah.
Yeah.
give that an old check on that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was kind of the big
That's
one
unfortunate.
that comes back again and again is this Mr. Kimmel, that name. But there are other potential incidences as she moved through foster homes because she would go to the orphanage, then she'd go to a foster home, and then she'd go to the orphanage, and then she'd go to the so there was a lot of in and out for her.
Transient.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
And you're a lot less
biographers
safe. Yeah.
right, and biographers really describe her very often as someone who was consistently searching for belonging, reassurance, emotional security,
And a father figure.
and a father figure, which is why we get into these bad relationships later, and also probably why she ended up in acting.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's not hard to see traces of this throughout her whole life, which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
At 16 years old, she married her neighbor, James Doherty. Not
Oh.
necessarily because it was a sweeping teenage romance, but her guardians at the time, the gentleman got a job in West Virginia. So they were relocating and they couldn't take her because
she
of
wasn't
laws.
a child.
Because
Yeah.
it's not their child, it's a foster child. So
Oh.
instead of going back to the orphanage,
She married
God.
her.
she got married.
Yeah. Can you imagine though being
Yes,
16?
right?
You're a sophomore in high school, essentially in modern era, and then
Yeah.
like so you're still a minor. You can go back to the orphanage, which I'm sure she knew well was like Bad News Bears, or
Yeah.
you can marry this
someone.
guy that you've
yeah.
sort of seen around.
Yeah, it's like women, a woman in, let's see, she's 16, so this would be like the late 70s? No.
No.
She died
She's
in
born in
62,
26.
sorry. So let's say, this is the late 30s, let's say maybe, early
40s,
40s.
yep.
How many options did women have to
Right.
get out of a situation? It was often marriage.
Yeah, it was.
Or like joining the circus. It was like, or
She
becoming
kind of did both, but
Broadway
yeah.
butterfly,
Marriage or
right?
join
The
the
Broadway
Yeah.
butterflies. I'm going to go to Broadway and
Yeah.
make it. And then they
Yeah.
become sex
Yeah.
workers. So it's like, there's
Right.
just no options.
Well,
Yeah.
and this too again in the the World War, because this I believe this was in the midst of the war, right?
The
Jen?
war.
like the war was
Yeah.
on. This
The
is
war is
also I
on.
think
The war was
you know,
on.
I think if my memory serves, she had like just turned 16.
Yep.
Like just at the buzzer we're at.
Yeah.
But to have people getting married, women, it's like 18, 19, not crazy in this era. And those were
Right.
people who were maybe like making a decision based on someone they actually
Right.
liked. But that wasn't as wild. So it's like, okay, she's still certainly on the young edge of this, but this was maybe not quite as problematic as, say,
Right.
our recent episode on Jerry Lee Lewis.
Ah.
For those who may not recall or may have blocked it out, married his 13-year-old first cousin.
No big,
Well, and
Yeah.
look what Elvis did with Priscilla. That is really disturbing.
Yeah, it's
too.
pretty disturbing. Yeah.
Straight.
Um,
Not great. None of this is great. No one should be getting married without a fully formed prefrontal cortex. This is my soapbox for the season.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And they did like date. And
Before they got married?
Okay.
before they got married,
She met him before the
so-
day. Like
yeah, before the day. But so I think timeline wise, they were dating, and then
okay.
Doc Gooder got the job
Okay.
in Virginia, and it was kind of like, oh, well,
I also heard, and
You
Jen,
know.
you've glossed over this on purpose, but I also heard that there was some concern that the husband of this foster family was maybe too interested in
Marilyn?
who was becoming more
woman?
attractive and more adult-like. And even though she was only 15, 16 years old, the wife was like, I don't need this in my house anymore. Hey, look, another man we can marry you to and get you out of here because my husband is looking at you and I don't love that.
it is an unsubstantiated claim, but it's one of those claims
Okay.
that goes along with like the sexual assault and things that have kind of followed her. That there's probably some truth to it.
Men being predatory to a vulnerable
What?
young woman?
Yeah,
Never.
never, ever,
This has
ever
never happened in the history
Never
of this
happened.
podcast.
We don't need this
And that,
at all. You know.
imagine my surprise when the story took a turn.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised that throwback to season 1, Red Manning wasn't driving around somewhere like shouting at Marilyn from his vehicle. Like,
Right.
Hey, I have a wife. I want to make sure that I really love her.
That I really love her. She just had my baby.
Yeah.
I'm gonna test myself. Hey, sweet lips. Like,
Hey.
hate it.
Want to go to the soda pop?
So so they got married when she was 16, and like you said, just thinking about the fact that she's 16 and the safest option is to get married.
The least bad
The
choice.
least,
Yes.
bad, the least bad option is to get married.
Yeah. And he went away to the Merchant Marines during the war.
Convenient, frankly.
Convenient.
I have a husband and he's gone.
And he's gone.
Great.
And during that time is when Marilyn started Norma Jean started modeling. Dougherty actually said in to People magazine in 1976 that if he hadn't gone to the Merchant Marines, she'd still be Mrs. Dougherty today. He
Really?
believes it's because he left. Yeah.
I would say a bold claim.
A
Even
bold
just
claim.
a bold claim because
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Even at that young age, Norma Jean,
Mm-hmm.
objectively a beautiful woman, and I
Yeah.
will say, if it didn't happen that way, it would have happened some other way.
Yeah.
And she certainly would not have stayed with this guy. He looks fine. He's not giving full thumb, but also I'm like, you're
full.
just a guy. You're just
Yeah.
some normie. And that's fine. But this woman was never going to
yes.
stay with you
No.
for the long haul. That was
And she even said, because she initiated the divorce.
yeah, sure.
And she said, she goes, my marriage didn't make me sad, but it didn't make me happy either. My husband and I barely spoke to each other. This wasn't because we were angry. We just had nothing to say. I was dying of boredom.
Because he tripped and fell into this marriage.
Yeah. Whoops. Much like people trip and fall into bigamy, like Mr. Booth. But
He didn't get to marry her because she was like, oh my gosh, you're amazing and I adore you. She was like,
No.
I'm looking for the least bad option in
Yeah.
my terrible circumstances. You'll do. You're
And-
employed.
yeah. You're employed. And I know you. I've known you for a long time. We're dating.
I've had more than 2
You're
conversations
nice enough.
with you.
Yeah, and you
enough.
pay attention to me nicely. Like you're not mean to me.
Yeah, right. You haven't punched me in the face
And
yet.
punch me in the face. Right.
Great. Winner,
Yeah.
chicken dinner. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
he's like, she'd still be Mrs. Doherty. I'm like, oh,
sure, man.
sweetie. Oh, buddy. Okay. Yeah.
But despite all of this and her absolutely horrible childhood, and I do like to say that too about the fact that she did it to stay out of an orphanage, because I think a lot of people, when they say, well, she was married at 16, they do it to like sexualize her. And that's not what it was about.
No.
And they, and I'll flip some tables
when
later
people
because
bring it up, they're like,
yeah.
You mean they
Well,
bring
she
it
was
up in a way
16
like,
when she got married,
16, so she knew the world. She
She
was
knew
a
the
worldly
yeah.
woman. Like that.
Yeah.
First of all, ew. Like,
Yeah, right? I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gross.
But despite all of this, the instability, the loneliness, the insecurity, Norma Jean was very curious. She read constantly. There is her collection of books by the time she passed away was over 400 books.
Wow.
She was very smart. She loved literature, poetry, philosophy, and music, and she studied acting very seriously. She listened to Beethoven, and right before her career took off, she actually was enrolled in a literature class at UCLA.
Wow.
Then she got
famous.
Really, really famous. And I kind of think that's one of the saddest parts of her story is that, and we'll talk about this a lot, is that the entire world did and still has reduced her to this image. But she was trying so hard to become something much deeper and smart. And I mean, she was one of the star students at Lee Strasberg's studio. There's a great picture. We'll put it up on our socials. There's a great picture of like the class that Marilyn was in at Lee Strasberg's studio.
I've seen
and
these,
she's sitting in the front, and you can just tell like she has something going on that the others do not have. Well, and it's not because she's beautiful.
No, if she's beautiful, she couldn't possibly
be smart.
Like, I was like, what are you talking about? These two things have nothing to do with each other, first of all. And it's, I don't know. We talk all the time about how people, contain multitudes,
right?
But we have a hard time, like, sort of like holding like multiple truths at once. Like, we want everything to be very binary and very simple.
Yeah, black and white, right?
Well, but no man. If like we see a handsome man, we never assume, oh well, you must be an imbecile because, like,
right?
Look at that jawline. Like not even biases, but if you took your own weird, like, sexualization out of it, it's like she is like, talking about Marilyn. It's like, she is just like sitting here, like, reading a book, or she is like taking an acting class, and you're just like, she's so hot. It was like, she is clearly like focused. Like, she's not here to be like, she's not putting on a show. Like, she's not looking for attention. Like, she's educating herself, or she is clearly having. I've seen a lot of. I've seen the photos you're talking about, Jen, but I've also seen a lot of like behind the scenes photos.
Yeah, me too.
Even, like, some like video of her where it's like it wasn't part of the movie. Like, she's not like on screen, but she's just like, they were rolling, and she's just like talking to someone sort of like off camera. And it's so interesting because you can really see like, oh no, you really are smart. And it is such a contrast to some of the roles she played. Yeah. Where she is, but it's like, you also have to be so smart to play the comedy of something like The 7-Year Itch, where you're just like, not a thought in your head. You're like, oh, potato chips and champagne.
You have to be like, you have to be so smart to play dumb.
Sharp.
To
do that. So it's like, you see her having these conversations and being like so intentional. And yes, absolutely. I think she also had a lot of like, mental and emotional struggles, but she wasn't an idiot. Like, that was not.
No.
She also wasn't a victim. Like, she worked. She tried. Like, she was.
Well, and she kind of took ownership of her own sexuality.
She did, for sure. In some
ways. In other ways, she was definitely.
In other ways, it was pushed upon her. But
exploited.
Yes, but, she turned it on. Like you were saying, Ashley. Like, you can literally see her go, I have to go be Marilyn now. She turns it on. Yeah. So
it's an interesting, I don't know. And I think, I do wonder, if she had lived, I won't say longer, but had lived in a different time, would we have a better understanding of her? Because then you did not have, say, even like social media, or you did not have as much, I'll say, like, unfiltered content, or even like interviews.
Yeah,
with someone
it's so
like her,
true.
Or just sort of like more candid, like, interpersonal like moments like that, as I'll say, like, as the public, than you do like back then, because it's like, well, I saw her in this movie and I've seen these characters she played, and you have that like parasocial relationship and you think you know her.
So obviously that's who she is. Yeah.
Right. And it's like, well, she's beautiful, and like she was kind of ditzy in, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, so like that must be her.
Right.
And it's like, you've never talked to her, you've never met her, but had she lived now and like, let's say she was on TikTok and she's over here like, hey gang, like
Yeah.
Would
It's
we
so
feel
true.
differently? Would we feel differently about her, or understand the performance versus the person that she
Right.
was?
And so much of it was based again on her image, right? So you're right. It wasn't interviews, it was pictures. So many pictures of Marilyn.
Well, and there have been, I think, since obviously Marilyn Monroe is an icon in every sense of the word, but I think there have been other, maybe, of different flavors, but there have been other, celebrities or certainly performers who I think do have a persona as part of their, whether they're an actor or a musician. Like there are people who have like
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga's a great example.
Yeah.
It's like, this is
a character that she's playing.
Yeah, this is my performance persona.
I went to Juilliard. This is someone that I play. Yeah.
That's right.
Yes.
That's
right. Yes. But then, but I think we're, even now though, like we're still just now kind of being like, do you mean to say that the person that I saw you as in that movie is not who you really are?
Yeah.
That's what we're
true.
saying. I know it's a lot to.
Well, when Rock is on stage, he's completely different. His persona at events and on stage and interacting with the public when he's on, it's a complete character.
Yeah.
And he talks about how when he starts to get to know somebody for real, he tells that, like, when we first started dating, he told me, he's like, I'm really boring. And I was like, what? First of all, he's not.
He's not.
At all. But it's a complete facade.
Yeah.
So,
Except for the
who
love
else?
of black.
Except for the love of black. That's real. And the other one is Alice Cooper.
Oh, yeah,
He
sure.
is
absolutely a character.
Complete. It's a complete character off stage. He is soft-spoken, incredibly kind, very funny, loves Jesus and golfing. He's nothing like on stage.
Yeah.
So.
Jen, I have to ask.
Yeah.
So you started down this road a little bit. We've had 9 million digressions, but so husband number one,
yes.
Doherty, the average Joe, he's in the Merchant Marines.
Yes.
And she, I believe she had like a World War II era job, like in a factory, and they were like, for the war effort, we're going to take some pictures of the ladies back home to like boost morale, and like. But how did she go from that to be like, hey, we saw this like photogenic civilian, basically, because that's what she was. Like, how did this transition into like modeling in the mainstream? Like, how did she make that jump?
That's a great question. I know she got signed.
Okay.
So I believe it was, I believe what happened was people saw those.
Sure.
And she got signed. It's one of those, like, Grace Kelly at the
soda
at the drugstore.
Discovered. Yeah.
She was kind of discovered. So and actually that's a great segue because we're going into Act 2 now.
Amazing.
And that's the making of Marilyn, because the world knew Marilyn Monroe, or at least they thought they did, but very few people knew Norma Jean.
Yeah.
So Hollywood didn't simply discover Marilyn Monroe. They actually helped create her. So she divorced James Doherty in 1946, and that's when she signed her first contract with 20th Century Fox. So it all happened pretty quickly for her.
Yeah, that was what, four-year window?
Yes, yes. And she lived in L.A., so she was, surrounded by it. Her mother actually worked in the movie. She worked in the, editing
when she
I
wasn't
can't
in the
remember
psych ward,
when she wasn't in the psych
things.
ward. She was working in the movies, not like she wasn't like anyone's assistant or anything, but she was like in the studios.
Yeah, she was on the soundstage.
Yeah,
on the wall.
So I think that there were probably, you always know somebody, right?
Some amount of exposure.
Hey friends, Jen here, and we hope you're enjoying this episode of Life Upon the Wicked Stage. Just a few quick reminders. If you're looking for any of the visuals that we've mentioned in this or any episode of the podcast, make sure to follow us on Instagram at Wicked Stage Pod or Facebook at Life Upon the Wicked Stage. If you want more, please join our Patreon by searching the Wicked Stage Podcast. There you'll find ad-free episodes, videos of our recordings, mini-sodes, behind-the-scenes content, giveaways, and so much more. And the most important side note, if you like the show, please give us a nice rating wherever you listen. It sounds silly, but it's still the best way to get the word out and support us in this crazy podcast world. Well, the lights are blinking, intermission's over, so grab those snacks and another drink and enjoy the rest of the show.
So with her first contract, she made about $125 a week.
Ooh. What is that? Okay, hold on.
I don't know.
What is that
You
today?
convert it.
So,
Convert
hold
it.
on.
Do the
This
math,
was,
Olivia.
Do a little convert.
1946 money.
1946. Okay, hold on. 125 is what today?
What is the purchasing power?
Excuse me.
Equivalent to about $2,134 today.
Decent. A week.
So,
Decent.
A little over $2,000 a week. Not
Yeah,
bad.
I mean for her first contract.
Yeah.
And here, Ashley, I knew I had it somewhere, so I found it. So, to help the war effort, she began working at Radio Plane Company. So that's where she was working, where she was noticed by photographer David Conover. In 1945, she began modeling, much to the disappointment of Ethel. That's her grandmother, by the way, who disapproved of her having.
Step off.
Right,
We
she
tried
can
to
step
smother
right off.
her. Like,
Yep.
yeah.
But that's she later signed a contract at the same time with Blue Book Modeling Agency and 20th Century
Okay.
Fox.
Okay.
20th Century Fox stipulated that she must be unmarried as they did not want her to become pregnant.
Interesting.
Oh.
That's when she filed for
interesting.
divorce. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I would too. And also, let's for the sake of math, she's also 20 years old
Yeah,
at this
she
point.
baby.
Like, this is still a very young woman where
she's
they're like,
been married
hey.
for 4 years in a
Yeah.
loveless marriage. Ooh.
Well, and he wasn't even there.
Right.
Yeah, he was
He's
off on a
overseas.
boat somewhere.
He was alone.
Yeah.
He was boating.
Yeah. So, together with Fox casting exec Ben Lyon, they created the stage name Marilyn Monroe
Oh.
because MM goes well together. Like it's easy for
Alliteration.
people. Alliteration. It's easy for people to remember.
Jennifer Jones.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey. No.
That was a person. Yeah.
Yeah. So from there, the transformation accelerated. They bleached her hair blonde. There is talk that they forced her to have plastic surgery. Unsubstantiated, but nose and chin.
Chin. I have seen these side by side photos, and you're right, Jen. When you say unsubstantiated, because I feel that maybe it could be two things that could have happened.
Yeah.
At the same time, I think also again she's 20.
She's 20 years old.
You know how like you're a teenager, but also you still have just sort of
Chubby
like
chub.
some baby, like I'll say just like some like your proportions of your face. are,
Yes.
like it is still changing structurally. Like photos of me when I was that age, and then even just within like a couple years, you still look like yourself, but also like things just kind of
They move.
resituate. Does
Yeah.
that make sense? Like
Yes.
I've never had any work done. I've never had fillers or anything. But stuff has just sort of been like, oh, that just sits a little different because of age.
You know, there's also makeup and haircuts also change the way you look. So it could have been simply that.
Change the way you look. Well,
Yeah.
I'll say, Jen, the decision to make her platinum blonde, she also had the much has been made about like her skin, and she made a few black and white movies, which I feel don't really do justice to her coloring, but she really had a complexion that took that hair color extremely well.
Very well.
Which is really hard to pull off. Like,
Oh my
anyone
God,
can dye their
platinum?
hair-
Yeah.
anyone can dye their hair that color. It is very hard to, I'll say, not only carry it off, but actually to have that enhance, like your complexion, it enhances the hair
Yes.
and vice versa. And she had that like rare coloring where, because like she wasn't super
blonde.
pale,
Yeah.
but she wasn't that kind of
Yeah.
blonde, of course, because
Right.
bottle blonde.
Yeah, but just it never seemed, and again I know makeup, but like it never seemed
Right.
to wash her out. She was
No.
like luminous almost, like the hair and the skin in color, like on screen. It really worked for her. So I would say as a choice from an image standpoint, that I think was a good and wise choice for
Decision.
her, and it enhanced like what she already had going on.
Right. Because your natural hair color isn't always the best one.
Absolutely true. For some people,
You know,
it is. And
for some people it
it's
is, and for
like,
some people it isn't. Yeah.
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 What color is your? I'm outing
This
us all.
no, it's
Jen,
fine.
is this your natural hair
No,
color?
I have lighter
No.
hair. My hair is like dirty blonde.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
See, I didn't know this.
Yeah, my hair is like that kind of that mousy, dirty blonde that you could go either way. You can go darker or you can go lighter.
Interesting.
And you know, I want to be Wonder Woman, so darker it is.
But see, Jen, it works very well for you.
Right. And I've had pretty much every hair color. Like I've been a blonde, I've been a redhead, and I've been a brunette. So
Tried them all.
Tried them all.
Olivia, is what we're seeing more or less your natural hair color, or is this?
This is 100% natural, and my silvers I've decided.
Yeah. They're coming through, baby. Look at her. Natural highlights.
Yeah, I've decided to grow them in because they're kind of cool looking. I kind of
Yeah.
like them.
Listen.
And but through my life, I actually was a blonde. For
You
about a
were.
year.
You were.
It worked. But oh my God, the upkeep.
The
when
upkeep
you
because
have
your
hair
hair's
like
so
this.
dark. Yeah.
I love that. Mine. This is mine. I will say
That's
my
you,
hair has always done this weird thing. My gray is not coming in a cool way, so I do cover that, but just to match what I've got going on. But my hair does this weird thing, and no one has ever pointed this out in my life until Rich, and then I was like, oh my God, now I can't unsee it. As my hair grows, the more it is exposed to light, it almost gets like a little bit of like auburn towards
It does.
the bottom. But this isn't color. This is just exposure to sun. But my hair is darker towards the root. And then
You have like a
becomes
natural
auburn
balayage.
Yes.
towards
yes.
it's very
Yes.
weird. But and
Yeah.
we all been blonde in a play at some point.
Oh,
with a
yeah.
wig.
In fact, my blonde wig's name was Marilyn. When I did She Loves Me. Yeah.
Jen,
and also 39 Steps. Yeah.
Jen, send me a photo, and Olivia, send me a photo, and I'll put up a little collage of all of
I love it.
us. in
I love
our-
it. As
I'm trying to
blonde.
think if I've been blonde in a show. I've been
No?
redheaded.
You've been blonde in real life though, so
Blonde
you
in
can
real
send
life.
that.
So she's 20, and she is now signed as a model and
And
possibly
an
a
actress.
film actress.
Yes. With 20th Century Fox. Now just 20th Century.
What was her first? What was her first movie? Like,
Well,
what
hold
did
on.
they even do with her? Okay, I'm sorry, I'm jumping
We're
ahead.
getting there. It's okay. We're getting there. But she was in, I'll tell you right now, she was in these few movies, were some of her first. As Young as You Feel, Monkey Business, comedies, both.
Okay.
And then some dramas, Clash by Night, and Don't Bother to Knock.
Mm.
And little sidebar. So this was in like 1951. So we're jumping ahead a little. We'll go back. But she actually faced a scandal when it was revealed that she had posed for nude photographs prior to her being famous. Yeah, and there, that's her with her Norma Jean hair for Playboy. So
Yeah. She was the first Playboy.
Playboy, the
issue.
centerfold.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was
Wait,
her.
what?
Yep.
didn't know
Yes.
Yeah.
The OG Playboy was Marilyn
that
Monroe.
was before she became.
Famous.
Famous.
She was still signed with and had her modeling contract and all. That's probably how she got in the door. But yeah, it was before she was
known as
famous.
Marilyn then, or was that still?
No,
Norma
she was
Jean?
still Norma Jean.
Norma Jean. Okay.
Yeah, because she has her like Norma Jean, like civilian hair color, which was why there was a little bit of plausible deniability of like, is this you? And
Right. And it was longer at the time. And yeah.
her hair was a little longer then. That's a deep cut from 7 Year Itch.
Sure is. Sure is.
Her hair was a little longer then.
Yeah.
It's called textures because you can see 3 textures: the sand, the driftwood, and me.
Well done. Well done. Well done. I love it. So her hair was bleached platinum blonde. Her makeup became absolutely iconic. Red lips, winged eyeliner, the famous birthmark. Her walk, her voice, and public mannerisms became part of a carefully shaped screen persona. They molded her. And this is really important. That persona worked. She was magnetic. People said all the time, you could see her turn it on. She was funny, she was sexy, and she was unforgettable. But over time, the image began swallowing the person underneath it, like it always does. Hollywood in the 1940s and 50s was very controlling and corrupt, as we know from our Black Dahlia episode.
No.
All of LA was. Studios managed publicity, relationships, interviews, appearances, and even personalities. You were who Hollywood told you to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
And actresses were expected to be glamorous at all times. She's not going out to the supermarket in her sweatpants, you know?
Yeah.
Rock Hudson, as we know.
You are straight, sir.
You are straight, sir.
Yep.
How dare
Yeah.
you? Here is a woman to take to a premiere. Yeah, exactly.
Judy Garland, you are dating Mickey Rooney.
Yeah.
Even though you're not.
Yep.
Even though you're not. While there were longstanding reports that, here we go, that Monroe underwent subtle cosmetic procedures, like it was a chin implant, is what they think it was, like an augmentation for her chin, and minor nasal refinement. There's no strong evidence to suggest she underwent like dramatic reconstructive surgery. There's also been talk that she had like her hairline done, her like moved down a little bit.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Oh.
You knew anything. I mean, you got enough money, you can do anything. Hollywood could do anything to you. What is undeniable is that she was under enormous pressure to maintain a very specific standard of beauty.
Oh,
And the message that Hollywood often sent women was clear. Hey, it still happens. Who you naturally are is not enough. You must be something bigger, something perfect, something sellable. And Marilyn Monroe became one of the most successful examples of that system that was ever created.
Yeah. For better or worse.
For better or worse. Yeah. So, Act 3, The Trap of Fame. Marilyn became the ultimate blonde bombshell pretty quickly, in fact. She was a fantasy. She was an icon, the so-called dumb blonde. As we already talked about a little bit, the irony is that she understood that stereotype better than anybody. Like, she knew what she was doing. She knew what her audiences expected of her and what her bosses expected of her, and she could perform it brilliantly. She could turn that on. But being trapped inside of a role, even a wildly successful one, can kind of become its own prison. You know? You can't get away from it. In public, Marilyn was larger than life, but in private, people described Norma Jean as shy, observant, insecure, and very sensitive. She was constantly surrounded by attention, but attention and intimacy are not the same thing.
Nope. Oh, no.
And we're going to get into her marriages a little bit now, because I believe that truly the thing Norma Jean wanted more than anything was to be loved. I think that's kind of the whole...
For herself.
For who she was, right? There's that
real.
great quote that Rita Hayworth said that people would go to bed with Gilda and wake up with her.
Yeah.
And it's the same sort of thing, you know, with Marilyn. So her marriages really reflected that tension. So we'll start first with her marriage to baseball legend Joe DiMaggio in 1954. Passionate, but turbulent. DiMaggio reportedly struggled with the public sexualization surrounding her image.
But
big time. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He wanted her to be his wife, and that was it.
He's that quintessential...
He wanted her to stay gorgeous and sex pot, but only for him.
But only for
just
me.
At home. Yeah.
And also, I want you, like, the second we got married, everyone else to, like, pretend, like, that, like, you are no longer sexy because you're my wife now.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's one of the most famous examples of this was the subway grate scene from the 7-Year Itch, which
They had to
drew
shoot it
a
twice.
very big crowd watching her. And yeah, they had to shoot it twice because Joe was very upset.
He pitched a fit.
He pitched a fit. Yeah. And that scene, of course, made Marilyn even more iconic, but it upset DiMaggio. There are reports that and there were reports that he was physically abusive. to her as well.
You know, I'll just say, as a general PSA, this seems obvious.
She said with pain in her voice.
I'm going to put it out there in case anyone is confused. Don't ever marry, or even date for that matter, but don't marry someone jealous. Don't do it. Because initially, I think that can feel good.
Yeah.
To be someone jealous, like, oh, you're jealous of like other men like looking at me, therefore I should be I am valuable, and therefore I am to be like protected, and oh, he's so protective of me, you know, he's like looking out for me, oh, he gets furious if anyone like looks at me.
Right.
That can be very appealing early. Long term, that is an attribute is always bad. And it always ends bad. Everyone go to therapy instead. It's way cheaper than your divorce.
Agreed, right? So her marriage to Joe DiMaggio ended after less than a year. Monroe went to the courts asking for a divorce, charging mental cruelty.
Yeah.
He tried to reconcile more than once, but I feel like the more I read about it, it's very much that it's, and again, you know, what's the word? Allegedly. That's it. Allegedly. It feels very much like that abusive love bombing. Like, I'm going to hit you and then I'm going to beg for your forgiveness. And I'm going to hit you again. And then I'm going to beg for your forgiveness. And the thing is that she had said, you know, that she wanted to be a wife. She wanted to be a mother. Like, she probably would have done it if you would have, I don't know, asked or behaved in a better way.
Nice to her, actually.
You know? Yeah.
The bare minimum.
The bare minimum,
be
man.
Be nice to your wife. What a concept.
What a concept. Jesus. So, after Joe came Arthur Miller. Here we go. Miller represented something very different than Joe DiMaggio. Joe DiMaggio's very different. Joe DiMaggio's macho and he's a sports guy and he's very famous.
The sports
Arthur
ball.
Miller, although also very famous, but intellectual, quiet, super smart, a nerd, stays inside, doesn't go out.
The job didn't work, so let's try.
Right, let's go to the complete other end of the spectrum. And this was like intellectual respect. She was a reader. She loved literature. She loved philosophy. I'm sure that was very exciting for her.
Yeah.
Right? Let's talk about Arthur.
Based on this episode, I'd say nah.
Don't.
I'll take my normie status.
Yeah. What Ashley was talking about earlier and why we're so pissed at Arthur Miller. Arthur Miller also, again, let's just, here we have pattern, wanted her just to be his wife, wanted her to quit. And she kind of did for a while with him. Like she stayed at home.
Down a notch.
She took it down a notch with Arthur Miller.
She
then
wore
one
a
day
sweater.
she wore a sweater set. Like she was, all right, I'll do it. But that marriage, also collapsed partially because one day she found a note that he had written saying that he was embarrassed to introduce her to his friends because she wasn't smart.
What?
Or as smart as him.
He couldn't take her.
He couldn't take her
seriously.
Yeah.
And that she was a joke and that he was embarrassed. And he was
she was just a movie
he was
star.
Embarrassed by her sexuality.
Yeah, basically.
Like a disgusting thing to say to your life partner.
He didn't say it. He wrote it down and she found it.
But also, didn't
it's
he
horrible.
leave? It was like his journal, and he
he left it out. He left it out on his desk. Yeah, like she was cleaning and just saw it, and it broke her heart. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I hate it. Yeah. So we hate it.
Well,
yeah. So that marriage also collapsed.
Did she, Jen, was this the marriage where also she had at least one documented miscarriage?
She had miscarriage, yes.
During this marriage?
Yeah, it was with Arthur Miller. Yeah.
I didn't.
At least one. There were undocumented, there may have been more, but there was one for sure.
That takes.
And clearly he wasn't there for her. He spent a lot of time in New York.
Had no support. She didn't have support. She didn't have a family.
No.
So she didn't, she probably had very little. And actually,
she had,
Is there talk of her having female friends?
No, there's not a lot of talk of that. She there was a housekeeper that she had, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
And she had like, I think her closest friend, from my reading anyway, and from what I'm deducing, was like one of her makeup artists who was a man.
Consistently.
And
makeup artist.
consistent. And
And it's interesting because like other people who worked with her, and I think maybe not so much at the time, but certainly in later years or certainly after her death, a lot of people who worked with her, like, Jane Russell, who we talked about, like from, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, her co-star, people have spoken extremely warmly of her, but also highly of her as being like, I loved her as an actor. I loved her as a person, and saying that like, again, like they wanted to like, befriend her. Like Jane Russell was like, I wish we'd made more movies together. I would have loved to have like had the opportunity to like work with her more.
Right.
And like that she was, talented and gifted, and like, she was playing this persona. But like she was great. Like she was just, she was great to have on set. Like, and she was a good person. Like she wasn't, full of herself, or she wasn't, a selfish performer. Like, sometimes when people are iconic like that, and they almost like, it's like they
want the
track
scenes to be all about them, and they're they're flipping the furniture, as they say.
Exactly.
But it seems like she was very collaborative and giving, like as a co-star, and that was something that people who she worked with frequently commented on. Even I'll say sometimes in spite of later, like some of her mental health struggles, when that started to impact her behavior on set, people were still like, but when she was on, she was on. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
So there's a pattern that you start to see in Marilyn's life. People loved Marilyn Monroe, but Norma Jean often felt unseen.
Yeah.
And for someone who has a pattern with the trauma of abandonment, literally from childhood, that is, I think, so destructive for anyone's psyche, and to have the adoration of strangers, of the world, for being someone that you're not, for like, you're like, well, when I'm this character, everyone loves me, but I myself, A, you don't know me, and B, you don't want to know me. You want me to be this thing, and then you're either repulsed by it, or it's not enough for you. Like just me, like as a person, like your wife behind closed doors, or your daughter, or whoever. That is a very for anybody, but that is a very difficult thing to grapple with, like that rejection of the self.
And it's reinforcing you to not be who you
yourself
truly are.
Yourself.
When you're someone who is craving acceptance and love and support, and you're only getting it when you play this persona, you're going to be the persona.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're going to let the real you go.
Yeah, there are some videos that every now and then pop up, because Ashley was saying earlier, like the algorithm now has caught me. And you can see her sometimes. There's a video of her at JFK, we'll get into it, at his birthday party, where she sang the famous Happy Birthday, Mr. President.
Happy birthday.
And it's a video of the Kennedys, but she's behind them. And you can see her mask like slip for a minute. And it's devastating. Yeah. She just she doesn't know the camera's not on her.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So she's just sad. Yeah.
Fun fact to lighten it up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know who sang Happy Birthday to John F. Kennedy the year before?
Who?
Audrey Hepburn.
Diaz. Oh.
Audrey Hepburn did? No.
It was Audrey Hepburn.
I didn't know that, and I love my Audrey.
Yeah. So
That's
this
really
wasn't
cool.
like this was one of those like, we're going to have like some starlet sing Happy Birthday to the president at like a something.
This wasn't like just because she maybe was sleeping with him. We'll get into it later.
Correct.
It was because she was a star. Huh.
Correct.
Interesting.
That's
Audrey
interesting.
Hepburn. Yeah, the year before, which I'm like, what a juxtaposition.
Right?
Just archetypally.
Well,
like,
do you know? Here's a little side note. It's a great book. Breakfast at Tiffany's, one of my very favorite movies in the whole
Yes.
world. It was supposed to be Marilyn.
Yes.
They
Capote
wanted her
wrote
to
it.
because Holly
Marilyn.
Golightly is a call girl, so they wanted it to be Marilyn Monroe. She didn't do it. Audrey Hepburn comes in, and Audrey Hepburn then changes the entire face of like the 60s when it comes to like style and whatever, because she's totally different from Marilyn Monroe. Yeah.
Oh.
It was supposed to be Marilyn.
I did not know that. That's really interesting. I'm
Capote-
learning a lot today.
Capote, yeah. Good.
Well, because it was a book, and Capote
was a book,
wrote the
right.
book with Marilyn Monroe in mind. And so when they were going to make it a movie, he's like, you have to have Marilyn.
You have to have
And was, like-
Marilyn.
and was pissed to the point that like Audrey Hepburn on that set was super insecure about her performance because Capote was so vocal about
He was
wanting
so mad
Marilyn
about it.
Monroe and Audrey Hepburn not being sexy enough to be Holly
Yeah.
Golightly.
Yeah, that's a whole thing because she had no boobs. That was like one of the biggest things. She was totally flat. I mean, she's flat chested, but that
She's a little
then
wavy,
changed.
yeah.
She changed. Then that became like the fashion.
Yeah,
Then
what is
she changed
what
it.
is glamour? Yeah,
Right.
what is
She became the it girl after that.
Yeah, yeah.
crazy.
So, here we go. We're going to move into Act 4. Marilyn pushes back. That's right.
Go, Marilyn.
So, yeah, one thing I really want to emphasize in this story is that she was not passive. She was not a helpless victim of Hollywood. She fought for herself repeatedly. She studied acting, method acting, at the Actors Studio under Lee Strasberg. Took her craft very seriously. They were very close. He was kind of like a father figure to her. Probably the best one she ever had, to be honest, because he didn't
bar
like
is low,
abuse
but-
her in any way, and looked after her.
A non-predator. We have
A non-predator.
on the
Yay,
scene.
Lee Strasberg. Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
Side note: Lee Strasberg is the person that brought the Stanislavski method to the United States. So anybody out there that wants to know what the method is, there you go. Lee Strasberg's the one that brought it here.
Brando,
from-
James Dean, all these
Yep.
people mumbling their feelings.
Mumbling their feelings. So in 1955, she did something extremely bold for a woman at the time. She co-founded Marilyn Monroe Productions with photographer and producer Milton Green.
Wow.
That matters because actors, especially women, rarely had that kind of creative control in the studio era,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
The studios took everything.
It was, yeah. And it was
So,
all men.
yes.
Run by men. Yeah.
Right. So she co-founded this company, and she started to challenge 20th Century Fox. She demanded better roles, better scripts, better pay. She wanted respect.
What a concept.
What a concept. And in many ways, that made her very much ahead of her time. She understood the machinery of celebrity better than most people gave her credit for.
Yeah.
And
How was she received as a, like how was she received by the rest of the Hollywood community? Like, were they like,
what do you
know what I mean?
do you mean as Marilyn or like as like a owner of a company?
As a female owner of a company, did she?
Well, have you ever heard of Marilyn Monroe Productions?
No, I hadn't. I had not until today. Thank you.
So it wasn't really anything. It was just kind of more of a, if you're not going to do it, I'll do it myself.
Okay.
I think the fact that she even did that at all
I know.
and tried to do that, and because she produced a couple things for herself, didn't
She
she?
did.
under that
She did.
umbrella?
Yeah, she did.
The fact that she even attempted it at all, I think, is
Let's see.
says a lot. Especially to your point, Jen, in an era where the studio system was king, and there really, I mean, independent film was not a situation,
Right.
At all.
The movie, the only film produced under Marilyn Monroe Productions was one of my favorites, The Prince and the Showgirl.
Ah, yes, starring Laurence Olivier.
Laurence Olivier and Marilyn Monroe, and Laurence Olivier's wife at the time, Vivian Lee,
Vivian Lee,
was
also very unwell.
very unwell, and not happy that he was starring opposite Marilyn
Yeah.
Monroe. Very,
Yeah.
very, very insecure and very jealous. Yeah.
Mm.
And I love Vivian Lee, but yeah, she
Yeah.
was very, because she was getting older. At the time,
Yep.
she was older than Marilyn. She was getting older. That's tough in Hollywood,
Mhm.
you know?
A woman aging like a person. Oh God.
Yeah, I know.
People swap spouses in Hollywood quite frequently.
Quite a bit. Very incestuous. So that was in 1957, and then afterwards, that just kind of the business kind of was used mainly to protect her financial interests.
Got it.
After that, so, let's see. By the early 1960s, the pressure surrounding her had intensified. So we're going to get into some of her issues. So Act 5, we move into the system around her. So this is when things start to kind of fall apart for our Marilyn. In 1962, obviously by this point, she's done Some Like It Hot. She's done Gentlemen Prefer Blonde. She is the epitome of her fame at this point. But in 1962, her life became increasingly unstable. She started to struggle with insomnia, anxiety, depression. As we know, her mother and her grandmother were both institutionalized.
Ooh, you know what I'm thinking also? Perimenopause.
Perimenopause.
She would have been in her
36.
40s?
36.
Oh, 36.
Yeah.
Because this
she died
is
at 36. So.
And this is 1962.
Well, a lot of mental health conditions that are percolating in your 20s really, for whatever reason, really do seem to come to full flower
They sure
in your
do.
30s.
Especially in women, because men
sure
it seems to show up in their
do.
20s, right? Like schizophrenia,
And
bipolar.
bipolar.
Things like that.
And it's one of those, like, if you can sort of, I think, hormones and aging have a lot to do with it, but it's one of those, you can sort of like mask a lot of things in your 20s.
Yep.
And it seems, all right, we need the big guns now because this is no longer working. Like, it's too much.
Hey, that was an amazing segue. Because at this point, she's starting to be surrounded by doctors prescribing medication. Two key figures were, and got to remember these names, psychiatrist Dr. Ralph Greenson and physician Dr. Hyman Engelberg. So Greenson and Engelberg were her doctors.
Okay.
Remember their names.
Okay. And Engelberg's like Bialystock and Bloom. Got it.
Yes. One of the reoccurring concerns raised by researchers is that these doctors were not always coordinating what they were prescribing to Marilyn.
Which I will just flag is still a fucking problem now.
Right? You're both doctors.
In the year of our Lord 2026, our healthcare system is still so segmented.
Yeah.
And it's also like you, the patient, who it's like, good luck. Or like maybe your caregivers, if you're lucky enough to have one, or someone else kind of like helping you on this journey. It's like, you have to keep track of your own shit. And this is why they'll say in like a commercial for like whatever, they're like, don't take it if you're on this medication.
This.
And I'm like, shouldn't your doctor prescribing know that? And they don't, because they don't talk to each other. It's like, if you have a psychiatrist, they're not talking to your cardiologist. It's just like, good fucking luck. And it's on you, the patient, to be like researching or keeping track of all of this. And I'm like, I didn't go to medical school on purpose. Like, I chose not to go.
I chose to be a doctor on TV. Thank you.
Why do I have to become the expert on all of this? To not even like, I'm not trying to, be like Dr. Google over here. I'm just trying to like save my own life. That's all.
Okay. So these two figures are important because they didn't, as we said, they were not coordinating what they were prescribing. And it matters because Marilyn was taking medications, including Nembutol and chloral hydrate. Both are sedatives. And together, they can be extremely dangerous.
Right. Like, at least you're probably supposed to spread them out by a few hours.
Yeah.
Right? Not take them at the same
Yeah.
time.
So it's difficult to overstate how normalized prescription drug culture had become in Hollywood during this era. Except amphetamines.
And then uppers. Yep.
These substances were frequently prescribed to performers trying to maintain impossible schedules and public images. The first time I ever learned about it was it's Vivian Leigh, because she passed away because of this, and Judy Garland, because you had things to put you to sleep, things to keep you awake, things to keep you skinny.
Yep.
And they had them on them all the time. Yeah. And when you look at Marilyn Monroe's final months, one thing becomes painfully clear. The system that helped create her image was not equipped to protect her.
Right.
No.
Yep.
So,
Well, and so Jen, to just figure out the timeline.
yeah, sure.
So she and Arthur Miller divorced in 1961.
Yes.
And so then at this point, she is living alone for the first time.
She's
in a
living
couple of
alone in her
years.
little cottage in LA. Yes.
Okay.
For the first time in a long time. She does have a live-in housekeeper.
Okay.
I believe she lives in, and lovely neighbors. But yes, she's all by herself with her books, and her telephone that she would take. She had 2 lines. One she would take into her room at night to talk to people because she didn't like being alone.
We don't even have a great grip on everything mental health wise now.
No.
Certainly in the 60s, I don't think we were like throwing every woman into a sanitarium, hold for applause. But at the same time, we also didn't have a great grip on just like
we were also-
therapy,
Yeah.
depression, like
Yeah, she had a psychiatrist, but he just gave her pills.
Right,
But
so it's like-
also, we were forcing lobotomies because
Yeah, still.
rumored to be what happened to Vivian Lee too. Is that she had a
she didn't
had
have
a
one.
No.
Kennedy's sister did. but
Yeah.
that was in the
Yeah.
40s.
I-
But yeah, you're right, Olivia.
It
It
was
was
a
like
conspiracy story I read.
It was,
that
yeah.
Vivian Lee towards like she became very subdued at one point, and there was a conspiracy theory that
she had a lobotomy.
forced lobotomy.
yeah,
yeah.
I think
No, I think she was just on pills.
yeah.
Well, that's
what was
probably it. It
more
sedatives.
what was more in vogue in the 60s, Olivia, was you're depressed. Electroshock therapy
Electroshock.
is
Yeah.
good for that. That was still very much
You're right.
happening actively. It's like, oh, are you a little sad? You feeling a little down? Like,
Right.
here's some electroshock. Like,
So,
yeah,
The
yeah,
Misfits with Clark Gable was
Who?
released.
Just
Clark
kidding.
Gable?
Just kidding.
Do you know Olivia? Have you seen
joke.
Have you seen Gone with the Wind?
have you seen Gone with the Wind yet?
No.
Damn it. God damn it. God damn it.
I don't know nothing about watching Gone with the Wind.
We're gonna tie her to a chair and make her
I'm
watch
sorry.
it.
Real quick, while we're putting Olivia on the spot.
Yeah.
Olivia, have you seen The 7-Year Itch?
No.
God damn it, I knew
No,
it.
wait a minute.
I knew
Have
it.
Hold on. I'm trying to think because I did grow up watching.
It's
a lot
very
of the
good.
Old because of my parents.
It's
age
not a
and stuff.
musical.
Yeah,
It's not a
but
musical. Some Like It Hot is kind
I
of.
watched Some Like It Hot.
I love
I've
it.
Have you seen Gentlemen Prefer Blondes?
Gentlemen Prefer Blondes?
Yes.
Have you seen what is one of my favorites, How to Marry a Millionaire, also starring Lauren Bacall?
so
for
good.
Nod,
I
Lauren
love How to
Bacall.
Marry a Millionaire. But
Okay,
I
good,
don't- I
good.
don't
We're
know
on
if
a
I've
roll
seen-
here, Olivia.
I don't know if
All right.
I've seen the 7 Year. I have to look.
All right, we got to watch that because it's fun. It is fun. But The Misfits, starring her and Clark Gable, that was actually written by Arthur Miller. The screenplay
it
was written
was.
by Arthur Miller to give her a dramatic role.
Oh.
So I don't know. I guess he was trying to make up for writing that she was dumb in his journal.
Was he? Or was
something.
he just like, I
Did he
am
just
trying
want
to
to make money
make
off
up
of her?
for
Did
the
he just
fact that
want
I
to
was
make
being named as a
money?
communist a couple years ago?
Maybe
and-
that was it.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
that's what it was. But that was a really hard. That was when people started to notice a little bit, and like Some Like It Hot. There was some stuff going on. Jack
Yeah.
Lemmon talks about it.
All was not well.
All was not well. There was a time where I think they had like 36 or 37 takes for something because she kept saying like, I got it. I have to do it again. I need to
She
do it
had-
again.
It was a scene where she comes into their hotel room,
Mm-hmm.
and her one line is, "Where's the gin?"
Mm-hmm.
And she could not get it.
She couldn't
Like,
do it.
She was just
She was like, I don't know what you want me to say, Billy Wilder. Yeah.
She was like addled, and she was just like, it's not right, it's not right, and she would just come in and like either like say the wrong line or would just like sort of like come in and just be like, the vibe is off basically, and just sort of like give
Yeah.
up or throw up her hands and be like, oh, I have to stop, I can't do it. And they were like, all you have to fucking say is, where's
the gin?
You walk in and say, where's the gin? That's it. That's all you have to do. And
Wow.
it was a weird day. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it had already started, but The Misfits was not good. She would not show up to set at all, or she'd be late. She wouldn't know her lines.
I'll also say asterisk on The Misfits. This also starred Montgomery Clift, who was going through his own significant mental health struggles at the same time.
It was a bad time.
Spare a thought for Clark Gable on
Poor
that
guy.
set with
Just
these
trying.
two, just both like
So hard.
attractive and unwell co-stars.
And he's just like,
what am I doing?
Can we fucking get through this movie? I'm Clark Gable, goddammit.
I was in Gone with the Wind.
He's like, I know I'm old, but Jesus. Yeah.
Rough set.
Yeah, at this time too, her health was failing. She had gallstones because of all of the medicine that she was taking.
God.
Lots of alcohol, not enough food.
Yeah. And her addiction to these drugs was so severe that her makeup usually had to be applied while she was still asleep under the influence of said barbiturates. So,
Horrible.
yeah, they were really throwing those
nobody
things
wanted to
down her
stage an
throat.
intervention for her? Like, nobody wanted to be like,
Why?
hey.
She was Marilyn. Like, no. The
Also,
studios
who,
made her.
Olivia? Who's
Yeah,
gonna do
who?
that?
She doesn't have anybody.
I don't
She's
know.
divorced now.
Even
and
like the director of the show, knowing the director of the movie, I mean, knowing that this was going on, wouldn't do just do some kind of.
I think that it's just kind of goes to show that people, that it's the Hollywood machine, right? She was just a
seen as a
cog in the
commodity.
Hollywood machine. Yeah.
She was a product.
Well,
She was a
and
product.
Also, how much of this was maybe too speculating, but a failure to recognize that someone was having something that we so now clearly see as a mental health crisis, and at the same time, like executives or the studio or whomever being like, she's just a difficult woman.
Yeah. Yep.
You're just being crazy.
You're just
Like,
being crazy.
just-
You're too famous now. You're just taking advantage of being famous or whatever.
Or like,
yeah.
like you irresponsible floozy. As
How
opposed
dare
to, like,
you? Yeah.
and seeing it as someone being quote difficult and not someone who is in crisis, and the
Total
failure
crisis.
to identify what is really going on. And,
Yeah.
you know, and again, like we now, I think we have the language for that. We have the obviously, you know, hindsight is 2020, but to. I can so see a scenario how this was all completely missed or ignored or written off as being something else at the time in the moment. It's like, oh, you're late to set, like, oh yeah, you know, partying the night before, and it's like, no, she's like deeply unwell, and they're like, why? She's hot, like, you know.
Yeah, she's hot. She's Marilyn Monroe. Yeah, she's coming off of her divorce with Arthur Miller, making a movie written by Arthur Miller for her. There's a lot of shit going
There's
on.
a lot there. Yeah.
There's a lot. There's a lot of layers. So she was not doing well at this point. So we're moving into Act 6, the final day. August 4th, 1962. Marilyn Monroe spent the day at home in Brentwood, the first home she ever owned all by herself. It is said that she actually really loved it. Like, she made it her own because it was the only time she ever got to do that. And accounts of the day are very varying depending on the source. And this is important throughout the rest of this episode. The deeper you go into Marilyn Monroe's death, the more details begin shifting.
Okay.
There were phone calls. There were conversations. There were people in and out of her orbit and in and out of her home. Her housekeeper, Eunice Murray, was at the home. Dr. Ralph Greenson reportedly visited. Later that night, according to Murray, her housekeeper's account, she became concerned when Marilyn's bedroom light remained on and Monroe stopped responding. So she was like, hey, Marilyn, you okay? Right?
What's you doing there?
Yeah, what you doing? She said that her light was on in her bedroom, the door was closed, and the phone cord was going under the door. So she had been talking to somebody on the phone. There were 2 lines at her house.
Oh, okay.
So like she had a very long phone cord and walked it into the bedroom.
Into her bedroom.
Okay.
So whenever Monroe stopped responding to Murray, Murray contacted Dr. Greenson. Greenson, who had already been there. Yeah. Greenson reportedly entered the room by breaking a bedroom window, because the window was broken, and discovered Monroe unresponsive. This is where the timeline becomes difficult.
Okay.
Different accounts describe slightly different sequences, different times, different reactions. Even decades later, people are still debating exactly when Monroe died and exactly when authorities were notified. Nothing about the night feels entirely straightforward. So, Act 7, Jack Clemens. One of the most discussed figures in the Marilyn Monroe investigation is LAPD Sergeant Jack Clemens. Clemens was among the first officers to arrive at the scene. And years later, he spoke openly about aspects of the situation that disturbed him. According to Clemens, Monroe's room appeared unusually orderly. The pill bottles were arranged neatly. Her body was positioned in what he described as a soldier's position. So she was found face down on the bed.
Mm-hmm. Right.
He also found it strange that housekeeper Eunice Murray appeared to be doing laundry in the middle of the night.
Okay, question, though.
Yeah.
When he says it was unusually orderly,
Mm-hmm.
how does he know that she wasn't very orderly? What is, what is he comparing that to?
Probably the rest of the house.
Oh.
Maybe? Or
That could
just
be.
the way, so, if you overdose on a barbiturate, the pill bottles aren't going to be lined up, most likely. Maybe you're OCD. I don't know. That's just one of the things that he said.
I'm just curious.
I
what
don't
is he
know what that meant.
in
He just
comparison
said
to
it was
what? Yeah,
unusually
yeah.
orderly.
Right.
Okay.
I would echo Olivia's question. Compared to what?
I'm assuming other crime scenes he's been to of suicides. That would be my assumption.
But you could also make the argument. I'm just arguing against what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
You could make the argument that someone who is has thought about this and has
Mm-hmm.
prepared that they're going to unalive themselves,
Mm-hmm.
that they might leave things very
Sure.
orderly because this is their,
Well,
I'm out and I'm gonna.
Sure.
I don't know.
and that or accidental, to me, the unorderly, if it was how about this, as in Gone Girl. The movie Gone Girl, they walk the scene and it's like there's been signs of a struggle, and there's like a coffee table that is like flipped over, and like the glass is shattered, and there's like an ottoman, and there's like things are out of, like, it's like everything is like, oh my God, like a ruckus took place in this room, like a life or death struggle. But then all the picture frames are intact and are like right side up. Like, well, these pictures would have also been knocked down because everything around them is knocked down, but the pictures are all very, like, someone put the pictures back up. Like, that's weird. It feels like staged. So it's like, was there something else where it's like everything is in disarray, but somehow the pill bottles are in a neat little line?
Yes,
like,
that's what it comes across to me when I was doing the research, was that it was unusual to him the way the pill bottles were lined up compared to everything else.
Room, it was the pill bottle specifically.
Yes.
Struck him as wrong.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So, I'm going to be careful when I say this because, again, allegedly, but here we go.
Sure.
Clemens did not formally declare that Marilyn Monroe was murdered.
Okay.
And none of the responding officers officially alleged foul play at the time. But Clemens' discomfort with the scene became one of the reasons so many later theories gained traction. Because he was just like, something doesn't feel right. Yeah. Something's off. Because according to him, the atmosphere inside the house did not feel simple. The timeline doesn't completely break, but it bends. So there were a lot of different theories and a lot of different, not theories, there were a lot of different alibis and situations. And there was a phone call with. So, for example, one of the things I read, there's a guy named Lawson, who is, I believe, Robert Kennedy's brother-in-law. I think that's the relation.
Okay.
Who said he spoke to Marilyn Monroe at 7:30 in the evening, I believe is the time. And she was talking to him and she was irate and she was upset, and then she trailed off and he couldn't hear anything anymore. At the same time, Joe DiMaggio, who is across the country in New York, now Lawson was in LA, but DiMaggio was across the country, said, no, I talked to her at like 9:30 p.m. and she was fine. She seemed happy. She didn't like the girl I was dating, but otherwise.
I read something that said possibly, and maybe this is speculation or after the fact, but that like Joe DiMaggio and Marilyn Monroe were in touch and were even possibly considering a reconciliation question mark towards the end of her life. Like,
yes, they were, and they kind of always stayed in touch. You know, she was also found naked, which is, you know, one of those big, that was a big deal that she was found naked.
That's how some people sleep.
It is how some people sleep.
Well, she famously said that she slept in her
the nude
Chanel perfume.
She did. She also didn't wear anything. So I'm looking at a picture right now. This is what I wanted to see. I looked up the Marilyn death scene. I'm so sorry. The rest of the room was in disarray. That's why. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can look at her night table and like everything's kind of a mess, but the pill bottles were like boop 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 boop. So he's like,
interesting.
And
something feels weird.
A theory that I think I saw this on a documentary that Robert F. Kennedy was actually in L.A. And had actually visited her that day.
We're gonna get into that.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because she allegedly
she was going to go public with their affair, I think, because she was upset that he was
breaking it off.
He was breaking it off, and so
she'd had affairs with Robert and John.
Well, both of them, yes, but she I think was most recently allegedly with Robert, and they had this heated argument because he was trying to break it off, and she was saying she was going to go public, and then a few hours later she's dead.
There are journals that disappeared.
Convenient.
Because she had them in a safe.
Oh.
She would write things down that the Kennedys would tell her during pillow talk. Mostly Robert. Apparently JFK was maybe a little more tight-lipped, probably, as the president.
Hopefully.
Had less time, maybe, on his hands,
you know,
I don't know.
He was like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, kind of. But Robert could stay around. Yeah. But he would get kind of chatty during pillow talk, and she would take notes because she wanted to be able to talk to him. So it wasn't like, I'm going to take these down as blackmail. It was like, I got to write this down so I can remember to look this up. So I know what you're talking about so we can have conversations. And yeah. So that was kind of one of the theories that maybe she was going to, let all those things go. So we're going to get into that for sure. So by the morning of August 5th, 1962, Marilyn Monroe was gone. And almost immediately, the world began constructing explanations. A probable suicide, an accidental overdose, a tragedy, a cover-up. And surrounding all of it were rumors of political connections involving both President John F. Kennedy and Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy. Whether those connections were casual, intimate, exaggerated, or politically dangerous remains deeply debated. But one thing is certain. By the time Marilyn Monroe died, she existed at the intersection of Hollywood, fame, politics, and power. And in our next episode, we're going to explore the theories that emerged from that collision.
Ooh. Interesting.
Yeah. All right. Do you guys want to keep going? Or do you want to wait?
Okay, so let's think for a second. So it's 6:30. How long do you think the next part will take?
It depends on how long we talk.
Right.
You know,
An
hour.
Commentary.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely like get through my stuff in an hour, maybe less. So it's up to you guys. I don't care. We can do either. Whatever you think.
If we needed to record it, I'm wondering when I'm out of town next weekend for.
Okay.
I'm in Kentucky.
How dare you?
I know.
Why would you do this, Olivia?
Louisville. But I could do a night this week before I leave.
I could do that too.
Okay, I can do tomorrow night. Hold on. I can do.
We're all looking at our calendars. Tomorrow's June 1st. Marilyn's birthday.
Oh, that's kind of.
Should we? I can do tomorrow night.
I can do tomorrow night too.
Okay.
You want to do that?
Let's do that.
Let's
Cool.
do it.
And I like that. And then we can say that we're recording this on her birthday.
Yeah.
I like that. It's a nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, I
Yeah.
turned off the safe search on my computer, and
Uh-oh.
I sure did look at some photos. I gave it a goog. I'm looking at the picture of this nightstand right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Have you seen this nightstand, Jen?
Mm-hmm.
hold on.
I will push back and say that the pill bottles aren't in a neat or orderly
Well, yes.
manner.
Yes,
They're
and.
upright, but also like it's not.
And
This doesn't strike me as weird.
as neat and orderly. We'll also get into it a little bit because it's one of those things like they weren't good at preserving crime scenes. People touch shit,
Oh yeah.
you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on, but but I was like, oh, I was ready to see one thing, and I was like, oh, that's
That
not what I
orderly, actually,
anticipated.
at all.
Yeah, they're all together basically. It's like, here are all my pills.
I'll throw out I'm outing myself a little bit.
I
This
love
does
it.
not look. I don't have pill bottles on my nightstand. This does not look
do.
unlike my nightstand right
Correct.
now as a small like round situation. Like I have a lot of books about murder on mine, and I've got like my phone charger, and it's kind of weird. And then I have like a safety pin, and like there's some random ass shit. I'm gonna take a picture of this, but it's like. If I were to be found unalived, would we think things on my nightstand? I have a York peppermint patty wrapper because I ate a York peppermint patty the other night before I went to bed.
What?
Like, is this like
Was it laced?
evidence now in my untimely demise? Was I killed by a York patty? I don't know, friend.
Sure, you sure were. You sure were.
And scene.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Wicked Stage Pod.
Follow us on Instagram and check out our Patreon for more exclusive content.
These deliciously wicked episodes drop every other Friday, so make sure you subscribe or follow and don't get left waiting in the wings.